Oh, what up, peeps? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Check 1 2 1 2. Hopefully, you guys can hear me and it's not too delayed. Great. All right, you guys can hear me. Sweet. Just gotta switch over to my streaming software. There's a way. I don't want to mess with it right now. To see the chat at the same time. Well, there was a way, but I've given up on that, so. All right, well, welcome, everyone, my usual suspects, to the live stream. Hope you guys are all doing well tonight. Jeff, Dark and Disturbed Tales, and Leon. Yeah, just experiencing some technical difficulties. OBS is being stubborn and giving me issues. Yes, Leon is in the house. Big L. Hopefully you don't mind me calling you that, Leon. Well, watching the clock. I feel that, dude. I do not miss the night shift. Yeah, Leon, what is it that you do? I know, but I'm pretty sure Jeff would like to know as well. It's not like it's a big secret, but I'll let you tell him. He's a writer extraordinaire and comic book designer. Oh, what up, Paul? Thanks for dropping by, brother. I appreciate it. Paulie made it. Hey, yo, Paulie. What's in a name? It took you long enough to show up, Paulie. I'm just kidding. I'm just grateful you're here, Paul. I'm grateful to all of you for being here. It means a lot. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Uh, da-da-da-da-da. That's right. Whenever Paul shows up, he's always precisely on time. He's never early, he's never late. He's always precisely on time. All right. All right. Let's switch over to this. There we are. Can you guys still hear me all right? Oh, yeah, we need to get Philip going. Even when he's late, he's right on time. All right, cool. You guys can hear me. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Primo. And can you guys hear the music in the background? Hopefully. I picked a specific track for tonight's stream. All right, cool. You guys can't hear the music. Good ambiance. This is actually funny story why I have this music. This is actually from season 1 of Horror Hill with Jason Hill. This is back before I came in and started working on it. Luke Hodgkinson was the producer and sound designer, and he handled all that good stuff. And he wrote like these killer tunes that, I have, and I'm like, man, I need to use these. They're all such dope ambient tracks, and he did such a good job writing music. And I'm like, whatever, I could throw one of these in there for old time's sake. Get a little nostalgia for the good old days of Horror Hill season 1. I think what all happened in that season. Oh man, I'm trying to remember all the stories, because I think I came in on episode 12, like halfway through the first season, and that's when I... Oh, thank you, man. I'm glad I'm glad you like that music. It's some stuff I'd written in the past, and I just kind of revamped it for your channel. I'm like, you know what, this will work. It's kind of the vibe that you wanted, dark and disturbed. It's kind of weird to call you by your YouTube handle. Can I just call you Timothy instead? Because that's what your email says, and that's what I know you by is Tim, or D, whatever. Yeah. Oh yeah, Knuckle Supper. Nice one, Jeff. Oh man, that takes me back. I did all the sound design and music for that, for Knuckle Supper. That was a lot of fun. That was a project, man. But it was awesome to see it all come together, and Jason did such a good job narrating that story and playing all the different characters. It was a lot of fun. Oh man, see, this is the only problem I have, is like now my freaking, anytime I try to stream, my my laptop gets all angry and noisy and starts hissing at me because I guess it's processing too much, and all I'm running is OBS and like YouTube to watch the live chat, but it can't handle it for some reason. I got like top of the line freaking processors in this thing. Ugh. Well, I'm glad you guys all enjoyed Knuckle Supper. That was, oh man, what is that, back in 2017? Oh my gosh. No, I can't have been that long. 2018? Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, 2018. Man, that takes me back. The good old days of Horror Hill Season 1. Doing all the music for that was a blast. Quite the undertaking, though. That was back in the day when I worked for like, I wouldn't say pro bono, because I did get paid a little bit. Craig was able to pay me a little bit of stuff, but nothing like crazy. Let's turn that music down a little bit. But I was essentially getting like a small cut of like the revenue that was coming in from the channel at the time. And it was like maybe $40 for like a whole 10-hour audiobook, maybe a little bit more. I probably underselling it. It was so long ago. But yeah, it wasn't like anything super substantial. Don't get me wrong, it did good for what it was, and I enjoyed it. Just being part of a project like that, it was awesome. You know what, let me try something. Oofa. Noise suppressor? No, it's not. I'm trying to... And we're all better for you being here, Jeff. We certainly are. I don't think Craig gives you enough credit for the talent you bring to the channel, dude. You're awesome. Retroactively invoice Craig. Oh man, I wish it worked like that, but nah. I enjoyed working on Horror Hill in those early days, mainly for the experience to get. I mean, I was still pretty, wet behind the ears, as they say, when it came to production stuff. So that really was more of learning than anything. My best customer could have been too much longer after that. Wonderful work. Oh, okay. Oh man, that aired in 2018. Oh dang, I have to go back and check that then. Shoot. Talk about it like it was ages ago, but like, yeah, it wasn't. I guess it really wasn't that long ago. It just feels like forever ago when I worked on that podcast. I'm gonna have to find that story you're talking about. Oh, okay. Cool, cool. You guys going way back. Noise suppression. Compressor, expander. Only problem is I can't tell if this noise gate is working. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Can you guys hear too much of the fan noise in the background? Hopefully not. A good software expander? What do you mean by that? Software expander? What do you mean by that, Jeff? Okay, you can't hear the fan noise. Okay, it's only on my end. All right, then I was tripping. Because I can hear it, but I'm sitting right in the room with it and it's right in the mic. As long as you guys can't hear it, I guess that's all that matters. Yeah, man, share your promo. Do it. However you do that. I'm not sure how that works. But definitely promo your stuff. An expander plugin? Alright, cool. You guys can just hear me and the background music. Excellent. An expander plugin. Like compressor expander? Is that what you mean? Jeff? Cause, oh man. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not super familiar with the expanders. I don't use them that often. Mainly just compressors. But from what my basic understanding is like Compressor takes like really loud peaks and squashes them down. Expander kind of does the opposite of that. It takes really quiet stuff and brings it up to the median level. I guess that's kind of the baseline of what an expander does. A hardware expander. Oh, okay. Okay, because when you said expander, that's immediately would jump to my mind. Jeff is the compressor expander, and the only one I know of that I've used. Okay, yeah, like a gate. Okay, similar then. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, a good compressor expander, we'll say like that, a gate, if you will. Noise reduction. Isotopes expander. They also have like a noise gate. Um, I think it's an RX. You can use. It's one of like the simple plugins when you purchase Isotope RX post production suite. It comes with tons of different tools and stuff like that, but for a good solid expander or gate, yeah, Isotope. A compressor expander, Jeff, is essentially a gate and a compressor in one. So you can gate set your threshold to get rid of your noise floor, and compress and to bring up your level at the same time. Oh, another good compressor, well, that works as a compressor expander would be by Waves, their R compressor. It has a built-in gate in it, which is what I use all the time. It's like my go-to for after processing compression to make sure everything's like vocals sit like right nice and present. The gate works really good because it's simple. You set your threshold, and anything below that you can't hear anything. And then it's like simple 3 levels, like three, what do they call them, 3 controls. You have your gate, you have your compression ratio, and then you have your output on it, to where you can adjust the output gain after that. So say you compress the heck out of it and your vocals are really loud and nice and present, but you're peaking, you just bring the output gain down, and that's it. Yes, Sharon like. Thank you, D&D. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you already have RX standard, it should be included in that. It should be included, I believe. Yeah, you have a gator, noise reducer, expander thing in there as well. RX is dope. Yeah, the Audacity's noise gate and stuff, pretty good, pretty good. Like I said, my go-to is the one by Waves. It's Waves R or Voice Comp or RVox, I think is what it's called. RVox, like the letter R and then VOX, and it's specifically made for like vocals. And yeah, you just slap that thing on there. Like I said, set your gate. It has like a little fader that's labeled gate. You set your threshold for that to reduce your noise floor or to gate out your noise floor, and then compress your signal, and then adjust your output gain, and then boom. Definitely get a pin, Leon. Might learn something from this little group chat. Like I've often thought about like doing like tutorial videos on like voiceover and how to record yourself and get good levels, and what sounds good for someone who's starting out and like wants to get into the voice acting stuff like we do. But it's just like, there can be so much to it that it feels really overwhelming. So to just like little instructional videos to get you like, all right, so you know what this is your microphone, this is how you plug it in, these are the different types of microphones you can use, this is a compressor, this is an expander, this is a EQ, this is da 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 da, post processing, all that good stuff, just to give someone like a really basic, nice core knowledge of being able to record themselves, get good levels, and, you know, start their little voiceover journey. I think it'd be cool to do stuff like that. Nice. Oh, GM, dude. Oh man, I haven't heard that guy's voice in forever. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's doing well. Oh, you're welcome, Jeff. Oh, everyone's mics. We wouldn't do like a microphone call out. Like, hey, what does everybody use? um, yeah, we could do that. That'd be fun. I know. I don't know why he stopped. It's kind of unfortunate that he did. He was so good on the Simply Scary podcast. TLM gang. What gang? I'm rocking that TLM 103, baby. What you know about that? Neumanns are legit, but the only I think you mentioned this before in a post that I commented on Facebook, Jeff, that the TLM 103, it's a great sounding mic. I mean, that's what you're hearing right now. I got the TLM, but like it just picks up everything. Like it's so sensitive. Oops. If you don't have like a quiet environment, I mean, you hear everything. That's why I was so self-conscious about you guys hearing the fan thing, because I can hear it in my headphones, and I'm like, oh man, I hope nobody else can hear that, because it's loud on my end. Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome to hear, Tim. GM was definitely, well, is definitely missed. Is a one-of-a-kind voice. But yeah. Jeff's rocking the TLM. Oh, well, hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining the live stream. Appreciate you being here. I forgot what we microphones. Okay. So, Jeff, he rocks the TLM 102. I'm rocking the TLM 103. And sometimes depending if I'm on the road and I have to travel for work, I'll bring my Universal Audio Sphere LX microphone with me. It's just a mic modeling microphone. It emulates different types of microphones. So it's versatile, so I can really dial in good quality sound for whatever room I have to record in, or whatever hotel room I have to record in from the road. But when I'm at home, it's TLM 103 all the way, dude. Can't beat it. Actually, you can beat it with like a U87 or something. A U87, you know, freaking $4,000, but who has that kind of freaking dough to drop on a microphone these days? Of course, I have heard really good things about a modeler microphone for the U87. It's the Mini K87 by Roswell Audio. I've heard all kinds and watched tons of reviews on that they say like that microphone, for the price point, like under $500. I mean, it's solid. I've been thinking about getting one, because if you guys haven't heard of that, go look up Roswell Audio, spelled just like the town in New Mexico, Roswell, and check that out. The K87. They also have a Mini K67, all different emulations of Neumann microphones and stuff that are really, really good and really cool to use, or seem interesting anyways. And the reviews are great on them. Oh yeah, that C414 clone, dude. Ah, C414 is like right up there. I wish I had the money to get a C414. Um, Before I got the Sphere microphone and the TLM, I was actually rocking a AKG C214, which is like the baby version of the 414. But no, like that Pro AR C414 that you have, Tim, is killer. Like, you sound dope. Whenever I don't know if you used it on the last uh, recording you sent me, but it sounded killer. I was like, oh wow, that's crisp, really crisp. Sounds really good. Yeah, it's almost like a staple. And speaking of like the C414, that Sphere LX microphone by Universal Audio that I have can emulate like a AKG C414. It can do the brass capsule or like the silver, the silicone capsule, which I think the silicone was the newer rendition of it. Oh lord, now the music's getting really loud. Let's turn that way down. It's one thing I liked about Luke's music. It had such dynamics in it, and it had always seemed to land on the best part. Like you could throw it under any story and it would work. I don't know how he managed to get that timing or that pacing right, but it always seems to like kind of reach like a small climaxes and peaks and stuff right when it needs to in stories. Heck yeah, dude. Let's go, Jeff. We're gonna bankrupt you, dude. You're gonna buying all these microphones. I'm really shoot. I'm really stuck on if I should get one of those K87s. I think it'd be fun to get one and do like a review on it. I think Mike Delgadio actually does a review on it on his page, Booth Junkie. Check his out. If you don't know who Mike Delgadio is, um, he's a dope freaking voice acting. He pretty much does like tutorial videos, product reviews, stuff like that. Go check him out. The Sninko D2 416 clone? Ooh, is that the one that clones like the Sennheiser 416? If so, I think I have heard of it. Um, that sounds really familiar, if that's what you're referencing, Jeff. Oh, still rocking that Blue Yeti. Heck yeah. Still rocking the Blue Yeti, dude. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Paul. I could tell you what microphone would sound like freaking chef's kiss on your voice, Paul, would be that AKG C414. You and Tim kind of have like a similar timbre, and like a C414 would just go like almost tailor-made for your voice, Paul. I think so anyways. That's also the microphone that our good friend Steve Taylor uses. He rocks an AKG C214, the gold-faced one though, the XL2 or something like that. But heck yeah, Paul, keep rocking that Blue Yeti, dude, till the freaking capsule wears out or blows out. That's true. I mean, you're right, Jeff. Paul really does sound great on just about everything. Oh. Oh, hey, SCP Deadman from American Zombie Apocalypse. Welcome to the stream, brother. I think we could, you know what, bro? I say we all pitch in and get Paul the 24-bit Yeti Pro. I'd happily invest in Paul. Heck yeah. That C414 primo. And I've never even heard of like the Pro R, a Pro AR C414. I've never even heard of that, but it sounds really good. Like for an emulation, it sounds pretty stellar. Another good C414 modeler is by Lewitt Audio. They have I think an A414. I think is their version of it. Oh, and the Warm Audio. Warm Audio makes a C414 model. I mean, balls to the wall. Good. Killer. Anytime, Paul. Whatever we can do to like help you shine even more than you already do, getting you a fresh new microphone or an upgraded microphone, happy to help anytime, brother. But I know you got it. You got it. Peer pressure him. Yeah. Spend that money, Paul. Upgrade. You know you want to. You know you need that new mic. I remember when I was in college for audio engineering, one of my professors used to love to say is like, if you guys have kids, just, share the love of audio engineering with them. They'll never have money for drugs. And, truer words have never been spoken. Gambling online. No, I don't want to encourage vice. No gambling. But you never know. It could work out. Oh, man. Let's see. I know eventually I wanted to see if I could try to live read some stories for you guys. Does anybody have any recommendations? No, I don't want to accept a call from Houston. Calling me in the middle of a stream? What's wrong with them? Steve Taylor, I believe he uses an AKG C414, either the XLII or XL2 or XT2. Well, let me look it up before I go lying on Paul. Or not Paul, lying to Paul. It's the gold-faced one. Yes, he did used to use the 416 and switch to that AKG, the C414. Let's see. Yeah, I believe he uses the AKG C414, the XLS, so not the gold face. The C414 XL2 is the gold-faced microphone. He uses the silver-faced microphone. Paul, if you don't want to freaking drop, $1,200 on a 414 XLS, the freaking AKG C214 is like the next best mic thing to like entry level for that. I have two of them. I don't know why, but I saw one on Facebook for like $100. I'm like, I'm getting it. So now I have two. And I mean, it's really good. It uses the same capsule design as the 414. The only thing, it doesn't have the multi pattern functions on it. Aaron's Magic Box. Nice. Is there any way you can send me a link to that story? I don't know if you're able to post a link to it in the chat or what, but that would be cool. I would like to find that one. Or if you have stories you'd like to submit for me to narrate and produce, you can always email me at TheGhostOf94@gmail.com. Send me your stories and, your stories or stories you'd like to hear, and I'll get around to narrating them. Yes, he has one of the greatest voices in like broadcast, I think. Not to gush on Steve Taylor, but he has a great set of pipes on him. And I mean, likewise, I'm so honored to have him play Gilroy in The Dead and the Dying. I mean, he absolutely killed the role. Wait till you guys hear him go like sinister. Like he sells it, dude. He's a freaking badass when he plays Gilroy. Oh, we starting fights now. Okay, Jeff. Shotguns really not good for long form? Are you kidding me, bro? They sound so buttery and smooth. You can get like, what is it? An Audix or an Audio Technica. It's a cheaper version of like a 614. That, for the price, it's freaking phenomenal. Box with 2 X's. Okay. Let me see. What's it called? And Magic Box. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you heard me on Chilling Tales. Yeah. Oh yeah, Paul. The C214, $1,000 cheaper, and I mean, it sounds fantastic. I'm almost tempted to like, switch to it real quick. I don't know. Would you guys want to hear that? I could switch to the C414 or C214. That way, Paul can hear what it sounds like before he makes his decision. Of course, it'll sound much better on you than it does on my freaking nasally voice. El Dagusto. Is that, am I pronouncing your name right? I hope so. Glad you heard me on Chilling Tales. I was hoping that would get around. Absolutely, we got to do it again soon, Jeff. We can make it. I think we can bully Craig into having me back on a second time. Can I read? It's not a winter storm. Yes. Nasally narrators unite. Let's see. Oh, snap. Aaron's Magic Box is on creepypasta.com. What do you know? It's on freaking Craig's thing. His version of creepypasta by William Dalphine? Am I saying his name right? Ah, okay. El gustado. El da gusto. El da gusto. Yeah, okay. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I don't sound like a schmuck. Very classy pronunciation. Thank you. Thank you very much. Craig is a good writer. Some of his older stuff I really enjoyed. The No Uthenmo Thext story that I did, where I hammed it up a little bit with the what do they call it? Transatlantic accent, Royal British accent, something like that. I forgot what it's called. When I attempted it, that was a lot of fun, and I think that's the only proper way to narrate Lovecraftian horror stories. Is you gotta have that accent, man. It just sells it. At least it felt like it sold it to me. That's what I was hearing in my head the whole time I was listening to it, and I'm like, man, it sounds so much better in that. But yes, Craig did write a killer story. I did enjoy No Thedmal Thext. And trying to pronounce that in that accent was, man, that was something. Over and over and over. I've heard of William Delphin before. Oh man, but it's been such a long time. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that, man. I tried my very best. I'm just glad it got the Paul J. McSorley approval. Thank you, thank you. You are all too kind. Memorable accent. Not sure if I could pull it off a second time, but the right story comes along, I could try. All right. How long is this story? 21 minutes? Approximately, so it'd probably be like a 40-minute read time for me because I can't freaking read to save my life. But I don't know. I don't know if the other voice actors in the or narrators in the chat, Paul, Jeff, Tim, have this issue. When you're reading a story, like I can like look at it on my phone and read it just fine, but as soon as I like have a microphone in front of me and I'm trying to record it, like I mess up almost every line. It's so frustrating. Oh, that's right. Yeah. He was an author on all those old stories. Wow. Half hour on that phrase and made a file of my best three and had it up ready to listen to every time I. There you go. That's right. That's probably a good idea. Hard to pronounce words. Yes. Punch and roll, baby. Lots of Ratex. Punch and roll. If you're not punching and rolling when you're recording, what are you doing, man? That's what I'm saying. Like, how can someone like read and then just try to go through and edit out all their mistakes? That takes forever. I'm just yeah, punch and roll is the way to go. I've got it so much now. I don't even have to look up for my script. I can hit record. I'll mess up, look up briefly, go back. Actually, I don't even have to go back. I can just tab back on my keyboard, and it starts. It hops like 2 or 3 sentences back and gives me a good like read in, and then I know exactly when to hit. My punch in with my hotkey, my quick key. I got it down to a science now, dude. But it still takes me forever to read like even like a 15-minute story, like not even freaking 3,000 words. Takes me quite a while. I'm a slow reader. Mm-hmm. Snap. Hey guys, let me come right back. I gotta go tell my son, good night. It's his bedtime. I'll be right back. Guys, don't go anywhere. And we're back. Did y'all miss me? Uh, all right, Leon. Well, you probably already gone now. Whenever you get back, we'll be here. Heck yeah, dude. Punch and roll. Like I said, no other way to go. I'm glad you guys missed me. Yes, yes, that is funny. Uh, like the clap edits or whatever. Like I think it would be fun just for the hell of it to have like a blooper reel whenever you're recording. I actually just saw another YouTuber do that. She uploaded like a blooper reel of her recording her lines and just all the screw ups she has. It's like 9 minutes of her just goofing around and like trying to read and then struggling. Pretty funny. That's Paunch Monster Studios. She'll be in a recent story coming up pretty soon with me, Paul, Jeff, Andrew, and Tim. He's in there too. I don't know. You guys will be excited for that. Yeah. Oh, El Dagusto. That story was actually written by Leon Hamilton. Welcome to Luxria. I think that's how you say his name. He's in the chat. Well, he just went on patrol, but he'll be right back. He wrote that story, Angel's Key, and he sent that to me. Like Leon's a pretty great author. If you haven't recognized, he's done The Dead and the Dying, and Angel's Key, and there's another one I want to say I've done on the channel, but I can't remember it right now. But those are two of the biggest stories on the channel. Yeah. Leon sent that to me personally after he sent me The Dead and the Dying, and I produced that. Aw, shucks. That would be pretty funny, Jeff. I'd hear that. I'd wait to listen to something like that. That'd be pretty great. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, El Gusto. That means a lot to hear that kind of feedback. I do put a lot of time and production quality into these stories, um, mainly because I love doing it, and I love that other people, like to listen to it, and I hope they get as much of enjoyment as listening as I did producing them, and working with all these other, me and Coach, all these other great voice actors and narrators, because I'm just really blessed to have this little community of fellow people to hang out with and talk shop about with, and really just hear their talent and be able to use it for stories for you guys to listen to. And you know blessings, blessings, blessings. Amen. Oh, came back with a cup of coffee because not sure how late this stream will run, but I'll let it go until accident absolutely have to sign off, because I do have to work tomorrow. I have to go in on a Saturday. Can you guys believe it? That sucks. But say lovey. Overtime, as they say. Indeed, company man. That's one of the problems with trying to be a foreman, trying to move up the ladder. Good. Glad to hear that. Make for enjoyable videos. A hell of a community. It certainly is. It's a bunch of characters. We certainly are. Oh, okay. At least I'm not the only one. That's good to know. Bad Dog and the Birth of Evil. Nice. And the replacements. Yeah, I can't forget that. Son of a bitch. You almost chopped my head off. And a little bit of Phil from the replacements. Oh, and Welcome to Hell. That was the first video or story I performed for you, Tim. I was in. Yeah. I think that was like one of my first collaborations. Dang, must be nice, Paul. You just gotta walk down some stairs. Not like, freaking I gotta go very far. I'm only like 10 minutes away from the job site. All the way to the basement, man. I'm telling you. That is a real hardship in the nation we live in. I'm telling you. You know what's crazy? I didn't notice, like, I knew there were basements in houses, Paul, but I'd never actually seen a basement in a house before because I live in Texas and we don't have underground rooms here in Texas. I don't know why. I've never been in a house that has a basement until I was in North Carolina. And whenever they were building houses on this project I was on, they dug out, like 10 to 15 foot pit and they started forming it up with concrete and stuff. And I was like, what the heck are they doing? I'm like, oh, that's a basement. Yeah, you gotta put your time in, Paul. Gotta punch that clock, man. Certainly did. But in that time. Oh, was that what Drew said about the basements? Yeah, man, I never knew that. I was just like, oh, snap. I know what basements look like. Where's Drew? If anybody could share him, I'd love to see him come into the chat if he's not too busy, whatever he's doing. Jeff, I know you got his number. Text him or send him a link or do whatever you do to get a hold of him. Speaking of which, I've tried to get a hold of Drew through Facebook. I know I probably should just email him, but I always feel the only time I want to email him is if I have project for him because I don't want to take up any more of his time because I know he's a busy guy with 2 podcasts that he does. But I need to get a hold of him because our good friend Creepy Face, who we've all, he's been featured on the channel before, wants to have him play a part in one of his stories, and I know he'd kill it. Oh, that's right. Don't leave the basement. He's banging her legs at the bar. Oh, man. Here in Texas, we call them stanky legs. Dog legs. Something like that. Do my best. I see if I can do my best Drew impression. I'm not even going to attempt. It's too hard. He has too much of a unique voice. Featuring Ghost, yeah, that's right. Out of all the places you could have walked into, you had to walk into my bar. Right into my face, my favorite area, and cause a ruckus. I hope you guys are all at home or somewhere nice and comfortable enjoying beverages as I am. But, mine's coffee. Oh, el de gusto. You asked me a question earlier about where I think you asked me a question about where I found the story. Aaron's Magic Box. I found it on creepypastastories.com. It's like Chilling Tales for Dark Nights version of creepypasta.com. Excuse me. And yeah, you know what? Let me do some of the freaking legwork here. Dang, you gotta go already, Jeff? Oh, buzzkill. Nah, it's alright, man. Thanks for coming, Jeff. Greatly appreciate you showing up and hanging with us. It was great to have you. Sleep tight. Dang. Trying to post. Sorry, y'all. Trying to share the live stream so more people can join us. Oh, wow. Hey, man, don't drink that stuff, man. Oh, well, good luck to your kid in the math competition. Right on, man. What a nerd. Oh, you got to go too, Paul? All right, Paul. Well, thanks for coming in, man. It was great to have you. Thanks for spending time with, this lame guy as he tries to do a live stream. It was a pleasure having you. Y'all sleep tight. Have a good one. Yep, get you some of that beauty sleep, Paul. Nighty night. Oh, man, we've been going for over an hour now. That's good, though. Tonight, everybody's gonna leave that seat tonight. If you get any more. Nice. It would be scary. It'd cause a real issue for the rest of us, Paul. Good night, Paul. Oh, the classic lines from the story. Yeah. Oh, when that's done, the backstory, I'm gonna have to get into Phil's character again. Shouldn't be too hard because I'm pretty hickish as it is. All right, all right. I guess I should do what I'm supposed to be doing and read some stories. I'll go ahead and take a crack at Aaron's Magic Box by William Delphine. Alright, here we go. Some nights are worse than others. Some nights, I wake up alone, in the dark, with a cold chill settling upon me, seeping into my flesh. Other nights I toss and turn until I wake with a half-remembered image of my brother Aaron's face. In my dream, it's always the same one. He's lying prone on the floor, his head tilted back, mouth hanging open. He reaches for me, and as he does, his fingers stretch, new joints appearing, allowing them to bend and twist until they manage to grasp me. On good nights, I don't dream at all. I don't dream at all. Nobody but I knows what happened to Aaron, because I never told anyone. The events behind the disappearance are a secret. Wait, the events behind his disappearance are a secret I've kept for over 20 years. Our parents died believing that he had run away from home, that he was out there somewhere, alive. I thought it better to let them think that. They might have been half right. It's all my fault, you see. I could have done something. I should have done something. I saw what was happening to Aaron and sat back and quietly hoped that things would turn out okay. They didn't. It was a book, just an ordinary-looking hardback that Aaron found at the town library. It seemed innocent enough. No dust jacket, no numerical library classification, and no sign-out card. You'd almost think that the book didn't belong to the library at all. Its cover was dusty brown, plain, with no title or author. Someone had tucked it away on the bottom shelf of the section reserved for works about medieval Western philosophy. That's where Aaron found it, gathering dust, waiting for him to take it. Inside, there was no copyright or publication information, and all that the text appeared to be the text appeared to be gibberish, written in some language we couldn't identify. I immediately brushed it off. Ugh. I can read. I immediately brushed the book off as a mild curiosity. Something about it interested Aaron, and he tucked it into his book bag, making sure no one saw. We were both silent the whole walk home, but as soon as we got inside the house, Aaron sprinted up to his room. When I wandered up later, his "Do Not Disturb" sign was up, so I knocked before letting myself in. Alright. Alright. Night, Tim. Thanks for coming, man. Great having you. Great having you. I'll carry on the story. I need to share the live stream a little bit more. I know, I guess it is getting late on a Friday. Alright, before I mess up the story. Yeah, it is hard to find the best way to let people know about live streams other than just posting it on all your socials, but, sometimes they'll see it, sometimes they won't, but... So I knocked for letting myself in. Aaron had cleared everything off of his desk to save the book. A pad of paper, and his reading lamp. The tome was turned open to a page filled with diagrams and strange symbols scrawled by hand in a faded ink on yellowing paper. The top sheet of Aaron's notepad was half filled with his usual chicken scratch handwriting. "How are you getting anything out of this?" I asked, thumbing back a couple of the pages in the strange work. Aaron gazed at the open book with eyes that seemed to be looking past the pages. Something beyond. "I don't know, but the more I read it, it's like the symbols turn into words in my head." I paused. I paused my page turning and looked hard at the text, trying to glean some significance from the marks, hoping to see this text like Aaron could, but it refused to yield its secrets to me. After a minute, I realized my vision was blurring with dryness, and yet could not compel myself to blink. My eyes refused to look away from the script on the page. Something inside me was convinced that the book's secrets were going to reveal themselves to me at any moment. But in my mind, I was panicking at the fact that I wanted to look away, and yet could not seem to. When I finally blinked, the spell was broken. I twisted away, my eyes watering, needing to look at anything else. And in that same instant, I felt a sharp twinge, like the point of a knife piercing my skull. The headache came abruptly, leaving me clutching my temples in agony. My knees buckled, and I felt suddenly ready to vomit. "Are you okay?" Aaron asked, shutting the book. I grunted, my head still throbbing. "It hurts. I don't think you're ready for the knowledge this possesses." I glared at him. "What's that supposed to mean? Are you calling me stupid?" "I'm just saying that maybe the stuff in here is beyond your comprehension." Rising to my feet, I started out half an insult, but my stomach was still lurching from the intense pain in my head, and I failed to really put any malice behind my words. Tears blurred my vision, and all I wanted was to be somewhere else. Without another word, I walked out of his room, making sure to slam the door behind me. By the time I made it to the bathroom, I managed to wash my face clean. The stabbing sensation had subsided, leaving me with a dull ache. Okay, Leon's back. Great to have you back, Leon. Hope the patrol went well. Didn't see any bad guys or anything like that. I know I'm doing a terrible job at trying to read this story for you guys. I have to stop to take sips of coffee. But yeah, for anyone new to the stream, we have 3 people. We are reading Aaron's Magic Box. Two days later, I spotted Aaron reading the book at the breakfast table. After he was done, he slipped it into his Star Wars backpack. As I watched, he whispered something into his bag, like it was comforting a child. I would have sworn I heard something whispering back to him in response, and it set all the hairs on my arms on edge. Aaron looked up, saw me watching, and gave a quick nod of solidarity. I did not nod back. We sat together as usual on the bus. Aaron always got to be by the window. I asked him what he was intending to do by taking the book to school. "Are you going to show it to one of our teachers?" "No. I've got something I want to try." I felt uneasy about him using anything he'd learned from that book in front of our classmates, especially Bobby Butcherist. Butcherist. Bobby Butcherist. What a name. Bobby was in fifth grade with Aaron, but was as big as a junior high kid. He wasn't just mean, he was also smart, which made him dangerous. I wish I could say that he came from a broken home, that a lifetime of neglect or abuse had carved him into the bully that he was. But the truth was that his parents were very nice people, both lawyers who seemed convinced that their precious angel Bobby was a saint. They even invited Aaron to his birthday party one year. Which our parents graciously declined, on account of the fact that Aaron was terrified that it was all a trap, and that the Butcherists were going to eat him. But I digress. "What are you going to do?" I asked. Yes, Jesus' villain name if there was one. "What are you going to do?" I asked. Aaron gazed out the window. "You'll see. Watch for me by the swings during recess." After lunch, I filed into the schoolyard with the rest of my class. They staggered to the recess time on a different grade. They staggered the recess times of the different grades, so the fifth graders had been outside for about 15 minutes and would be going in soon. I immediately made a beeline for the swings, which were up a hill around the side of the building by the basketball court. Aaron was already there, standing still and watching a group of kids playing kickball down on the tarmac. Among them was Bobby Butcherist, who seemed oblivious to both of us as I reached the top of the hill. Aaron smiled at me. "So," I said, "what's up?" "Not up. Down." Aaron indicated toward our feet. Following his gesture with my eyes, I noticed a circular pattern around his shoes carved into the ground, probably with a stick. Some of the symbols looked vaguely recognizable. A bird's head, 2 spirals, and a dash. The letter E backwards. That sort of thing. But they were just nonsense to me. "You drew a circle? Okay. Now watch." Aaron took 2 steps over to me. Nothing seemed to happen. I shrugged at him. As if on cue, I heard Bobby's voice raised from behind us down on the tarmac. "Hey!" I turned to see him staring at us from the sidelines of the kickball game. He was standing with his crony friends, Greg Collins, waiting for his turn to kick. But as he watched, he excused himself from the game and started marching in our direction. "Oh, great," I muttered, spinning on my heel to get ready to come between Bobby and Aaron if I had to. But Aaron had stepped back over to his drawing in the dirt and was smiling patiently, as if nothing was wrong. "What is it? A bully summoning circle?" Aaron pursed his lips. "Shh. You'll see." I felt a heavy hand grab me on the shoulder and spin me around. Even a year behind me, Bobby still loomed several inches taller. But even with the height advantage, he had never picked a fight with me. Not because I could beat him up, mind you, but while he knew that he could frighten Aaron into silence because they saw each other in class all the time, with me, there was a strong likelihood he'd end up in the principal's office. "Piss off, Bobby," I snarled. He curled his lips into a sneer. Years later in high school, I take great delight in punching him right between those fat, smug cheeks. I just wanted to talk to you two twerps. So talk. Well, where's the other twerp run off to? I glanced over my shoulder. Aaron was still standing there silently. He wasn't fidgeting or trying to creep away like he usually did. I shrugged Bobby's hand off my shoulder and stepped away from him to stand by my brother with my arms crossed. Well? Bobby didn't move. I saw you both up here a moment ago, talking to each other. Yeah, so what? He looked all around, surveying the rest of the schoolyard. So, now he's hiding in some little dingy hole somewhere, I guess? Let me try that again. He looked all around, surveying the rest of the schoolyard. So, now he's hiding in some dingy hole somewhere, I guess? What do you mean? His last statement threw me off guard. I looked at Aaron again to see if he was just as baffled by the conversation as I was. But he continued to perform his statue routine, silent and immobile, looking from Aaron to Bobby and back again. It finally dawned on me. Bobby couldn't see him. For whatever reason, to Bobby, he and I were alone. I'll find him, Bobby snorted before turning to make his way back down to the ball game. As he did so, Aaron finally moved, stepping forward out of the circle and bringing his arm up. Calmly, he placed his hand squarely in the center of Bobby's back. Here I am, shithead. A shockwave erupted from the air directly between Aaron and the bully. The air in front of us rippled like heat rising off the desert highway. Bobby was thrown off of his feet, hurled about a yard forward, where he skidded across the pavement, only barely saving his face by putting his hands out in front of him. Aaron, by comparison, remained completely unfazed, only his hair blown slightly back. As the air in front of him abated, he lowered his arm and turned his hand over. On his palm, he had drawn another mark, a three-pronged lightning bolt surrounded by a triangle of other assorted signs. He looked at me and smirked, but there was something unfamiliar and hostile in his grin. Several kids from the kickball game ran over to see if Bobby was okay. Both of his arms were all torn up from the hitting the pavement. A yard monitor came and escorted him into the nurse's office before returning to find out what had happened. Fortunately, none of the other kids had witnessed the event. When Aaron and I were asked, Aaron casually explained that it looked like Bobby had tripped going down the hill. That excuse seemed to suffice, though there were rumors whispering among the entire student body for the rest of the day that Aaron and Bobby had gotten into a fight. The rumor didn't last long. Nobody wanted to believe that my brother, gentle Aaron, would have hurt anyone, not even Bobby Butcherist. And me? I was both amazed and frightened. Aaron had stumbled upon secrets that, while they seemed beneficial, may have not been. I'll start that again. And me? I was both amazed and frightened. Aaron had stumbled upon secrets that, while they seemed beneficial, may not have ever been meant for our eyes. Damn. Secretly, I hoped that he would come to fear the book as I did. Maybe see the underlying darkness of the things as it was teaching him and try to return it. But instead, what happened was quite the opposite. He relished his discovery, and kept the book with him every waking moment after that. Cool. Yep, all clear. Glad the patrol was clear, Leon. Oh, and if you haven't guessed, everybody else kind of dipped out already. It's just the three of us. It says there's three. Who's the other person? I know Leon's here. And I don't know, maybe it'd be nice for them to leave a like. Yes, you, Leon and you. But there's a third person. I don't know who it is. All good. All right. Almost a week went by before the book came up again. A quiet Saturday afternoon, our father had walked over to his office to get some last-minute grading done, and our mother had gone to a friend's house to have tea. I was laying in the middle of the living room, drawing a monster from one of my nightmares and listening to the radio. Aaron was up in his room, like he'd been every day since our jaunt to the library. I'd stayed clear of him and his book, and he had remained tight-lipped about anything more. He glanced from the pages. He gleaned from the pages. Yeah, third person is obviously Bobby Butcher. He's trying to figure out what happened to him. From upstairs, there came a crash. Good gravy, I muttered. Moments later, Aaron came bounding down the stairs, 2 at a time, yelling loudly, "I did it! I did it! I did it! I did it! I did it!" He came to a halt in the living room doorway with a mad grin on his face and shook his hands like a lunatic. "Did what?" I asked. "It sounded like your bed collapsed." "You have to come upstairs." He looked around, checking for signs of Mom and Dad. "You have to see this for yourself." I stood up and brushed myself off. "All right, but if this is just you dressing up the cat again, I'm going to be pissed." We went up to his room together, Aaron taking the lead, chuckling the whole way. At the door, he stopped and gripped the knob tightly, looking back at me and with a suddenly serious expression. "You cannot, under any circumstances, tell anyone what I'm about to show you." "Give me a break. Swear." "I swear I won't tell a soul." I crossed my heart and held up my hand. Aaron slipped through the crack in the door, then shut it in my face. I started to raise my fist to bang on it, but before I could, he cracked it back open, looked me up and down, and swung the door open wide, and ushered me in. "Voila," he declared, wisely gesticulating towards the item on the green rug in the center of his room. Center of his room. Oop, lost my place. Yeah. It was a simple, large cardboard box. Actually, let's turn this music down a little bit more. It was a simple, large cardboard box, apparently leftovers from our move into the house many years ago. I could still see the faded marker scrawled on the side, which read, "Aaron, B.R." in our mother's hand. Above her writing, Aaron had taped a piece of black construction paper and had written in bold, white crayon, "Magic Box," with 2 X's with two X's for some reason. To this day, I don't know why he wrote it like that. He was 10, and it wasn't like he didn't know how to spell the word box. On the adjacent sides, he had taped more black construction paper, covering the packing instructions and address of the store we purchased the boxes from, back in Maryland. White crayon doodles decorating the paper. "It's a box," I declared. Aaron smirked. "It's a magic box. Look inside." "Will it kill me?" I glanced at him sideways. He shook his head. Peeling back the lid, I examined the contents of the box. The inside was lined with more black construction paper and covered with symbols like those I'd seen in the book and in the dirt of their school earlier that week, all in white crayon. Whatever they meant, Aaron had written them in strange repeating patterns that twirled and divulged into multiple branching pathways, like a labyrinth. In the center of the bottom, all the lines of the symbols converged into a single image of a large, unblinking eye. Quickly, I looked away, my heart racing with fear at the thought of getting caught up in another hypnotic trance from the symbols. "More hieroglyphs?" I said. "From the book, I take it." "They're ruins," Aaron said matter-of-factly. "Symbols of power." "Great," I muttered. "But what's the point of filling the inside of the box with them?" Aaron stuck his thumb out, pointing behind him. "I also lined my closet with them." "Okay, but what do they do?" "Allow me to demonstrate." "Oh, sweet. Creepypasta channel. Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for dropping in, man. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the stream. Get more people in here." Oh, but since you're here, we are reading Aaron's Magic Box. Aaron stuck his thumb out, pointed behind him. "I also lined my closet with them." "Okay, but what do they do?" "Allow me to demonstrate." Aaron strolled over to his captain's bed, where our black and white tabby Hyperion was curled up and looking dour in the... Okay, I gotta start over. Aaron strolled over to his captain's bed, where our black and white tabby Hyperion was curled up and looking dour in a dinosaur costume Aaron loved to torment him with. After a gentle pet, he plucked the cat up from the resting spot and carried him back to me and the box. "Get ready to shut the lid, okay?" Aaron soothed Hyperion, scratching him under his collar. I stood on the opposing side of the box with my hands on the flaps. "Nothing better happened to him," I warned. "Nothing bad," Aaron said, and then carefully placed Hyperion inside the box. "Good boy. Stay put, okay? Shut it. Wait, good boy. Stay put, okay?" No. Excuse me. "Nothing bad," Aaron said, and then carefully placed Hyperion inside the box. "Good boy. Stay put. Okay, shut it." I closed the flaps on the top of the box. A disdainful meow came from within the box confines, but Hyperion was a pretty easygoing animal, and not prone to panicking except when he found himself too close to the bathtub. I waited several seconds without anything happening, then looked at Aaron. "Now what?" Aaron was watching the box, silently mouthing something to himself. "Aaron, what now?" I repeated. As if in response, the box jumped under my hands. Hyperion started to meow again, but his cry was cut off halfway through. There followed a long, drawn-out silence. Each passing second heightened my anxiety. I started to open the top of the box. "Wait!" Aaron snapped. I froze, staring at him, not noting the look of concern that briefly passed over his face. Finally, he nodded. "Okay, go ahead." "Hi, welcome, Richard. Thanks for coming. Make sure to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the live stream. Appreciate it. Catch you up, we're reading Aaron's Magic Box. It's the name of the creepypasta." Finally, he nodded. "Okay, go ahead." My hands couldn't move fast enough to open the flaps. "Sounds good, Leon." Flaps. The box was empty. Hyperion was gone. Just a few stray hairs stuck to the bottom of the inside. Certain that it was nothing more than a trick, I turned the box over. Clearly the cat had squeezed out of the bottom when the box lurched earlier. But no, the bottom was secretly taped closed. Securely taped closed. And there were no tears or loose flaps. The cat had simply vanished. "Is he invisible?" I asked. "Like on the playground?" What are you referencing, Richard? How's it? What, the story? I hope it's good. It's pretty interesting so far. Like on the playground? Without a word, Aaron walked over to the closet, turned the knob with a flourish, and opened the door. Hyperion bolted out, wide-eyed and his tail puffed out like the time he had to run in with the neighbor's dog. He immediately ran to the other side of the room and began pounding frantically to be let out. My mind reeled, trying to come to grips. Whoa, I can read. My mind reeled, trying to come to grasps with what my eyes were telling me. The cat had just teleported from the container to the closet. "Come and see," Aaron said, going into the closet and pulling the cord for the light. "But don't shut the door." The inside of the closet was wallpapered with more of the black construction paper and thoroughly festooned with the enigmatic symbols. Wow, that's a big word. They weaved and curled, spiraling and shaking into some places in such a way that it made them look like you could fall into them. Damn. Seeing them again, my stomach lurched like it was trying to do some teleporting of its own. I had to bend over and put my head between my knees to keep me from puking right there. When I did, I found myself face to face with another large, meticulously drawn eye staring up from the center of the floor. When I finally caught my breath, I had to ask, "How?" "I followed the instructions in the book," Aaron explained. "Once you understand the symbols, it tells you things. You make it sound like it talks to you. It does. I mean, like, it literally speaks." Aaron blinked, but didn't respond. "Aaron?" I felt a chill ran through my body. "This isn't natural. It seems dangerous." He laughed. "It's only dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. How can you be sure that you know what you're doing? Because the book told you? Well, yeah, he shrugged, and his face seemed to darken. I thought you'd love this. We can teleport. We can go anywhere. I fitted the closet to teleport to the box, but think about it. We could we could inscribe the inside of one of those closets of Graham and Gramps and just teleport to see them anytime. He paused and stroked his chin. Hell, with some more reading, I could possibly even teleport into Bobby Butcherest's bedroom, slit his throat in his sleep. My jaw dropped in stunned silence. The gleam in Aaron's eyes that was so often seemed full of excitement and glee had been replaced with one of more malice and hatred. It gave his whole face a more sinister appearance. Have you gone through the teleporter? I asked. Yes, I guess kids do love teleporting. It is very trendy. I asked. Aaron put his hands on his chest and flinched, anticipating a shockwave like the one I'd used to lay out. Well, hold on, let me start that over. Aaron put his hand on my chest. I flinched, anticipating a shockwave like the one he had used to lay out Bobby. But all he did was slowly push me out of the closet. His eyes stared deep into mine, and I felt a sudden rush of fear. The shine in his eyes was gone entirely. Only a creeping dullness remained. He shut the closet behind him, then stood there, his eyes burrowing into me. I have it. Hyperion was actually the first living thing I sent through. But look at him. He's fine. I turned to look at Hyperion, who was still desperately attempting to get out of the room. I don't know, he looks terrified. Aaron walked past me and started to pick the cat up, but Hyperion dug his claws into the wood, arching his back, trying to keep all four paws on the floor for as long as he could. The moment he left the ground, he turned and lashed out, hissing at Aaron and swiping at his face. Hey! Aaron dropped the cat, clutching his arm where it had been thrashed with its back claws. Frowning, he opened the bedroom door, watched Hyperion squeeze through the moment the crack was wide enough, then shut it again. Little shit. Oh, hold on. That little shit. Yeah, I muttered. He seems fine. He's just a dumb animal. He walked back across the room to the box and shut the lid again. I'm going to try it. I looked at him incredulously. What, now? Sure, why not? Why wait? Sure, why wait? You won't even fit in the box. It's too small. I'm not going in the box. I'm going in the closet. He rubbed the arm the cat had scratched and started walking towards the closet. Quickly, I stepped in front of him and put my arms up, obstructing him from going in. Aaron, wait! My whole body tensed up. I wasn't sure if he still had the mark on his hand, but I suspected that he did. I lost my place. That he did. Why wash something off like that, after all? My only hope was that there was still some shred of love in my brother's heart, that he wouldn't use it on me. Aaron tucked his chin down and furrowed his brow, glaring at me with an icy stare that cut the words in my throat. Through gritted teeth, he hissed, You want to know how something else the book told me? You want to know something else the book told me? It told me to be careful who I showed its secrets to. It told me that the weak-minded people would be afraid of what it learned, of what I would learn. I didn't think he was talking about you. When he finished his rant, a low whispering began. At first, I thought it was him, but as I listened, I realized that it was coming from the desk just off to the right. To our right. There on the desk, the tome sat alone, an unnatural voice emanating from its pages. Just thinking about it now, as I type this, I remember the moment with perfect clarity, and the goose flesh spread down both my arms. Even without understanding the language it was speaking in, I can remember what it said. It was as if the words bored into my brain and imprinted themselves there. Aaron raised his arm out straight, and I saw the mark of lightning bolts on his palm. He held it just inches away from my ribcage. Maybe I should make you go first. Don't do this, I pleaded. It was all I could muster. My eyes were fixated on the book, and I can't really say any more whether I was talking to Aaron or not. The tome had me under its spell again, unable to look away, frozen in place. Realizing I was petrified, Aaron used the opportunity to shove past me and walk into the closet. I couldn't see him anymore once he was behind. God dang it. I couldn't see him anymore once he was behind me, but I could hear him stepping carefully on the construction paper, trying to make sure not to smudge any of the runes. Calmly, he addressed me. Stop acting like I'm going to blow up the house, Bill. This is just one small step for man. And then he shut the door. Alright guys, well I think with that, I'm actually have to call it a night. Sorry I can't finish the story, but I do have to work in the morning. I think next time I'll just go straight to reading. Why beat around the bush? I'll just read stories. Talk for me about 5-10 minutes and then go back into a story. But thank you guys all for coming and joining us tonight in the stream. It was a lot of fun. It was great to have everyone here. Hope you all have a great night. God bless, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. Indeed, let's all get some slumber. Good night.